Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic. Welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today I am continuing some work in my timeless journal. I've said it before, but I have to say it again. I'm having so much fun with this journal. It's turning out differently than most of my journals do. So it's fun. It's fun to do something different and to play around with some older styles of things and some ephemera. So this has just been so much fun. I hope that those of you who are following along are enjoying it as well. So one of the first videos that I did, I included this handsome guy from my ephemera pack that actually comes along with the collection of this timeless journal, but it's also available in my Etsy shop along with some other digital images that you can download and use in your journaling. This is his wife. I don't know who this couple is, but I do have their photos. I got them together. So I definitely know that these two did belong to each other, even though I don't know who they are. So I want to include her in my journal as well, and I haven't done a spread for her yet. So I hope you guys don't mind another collage type journaling page today, because that's what I think I want to do. I'm thinking of using the music sheet. I don't want to go back to the back of the book. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what happens, but I definitely want to use her. And for those of you who might be following along, I printed their pictures out on a 4x6, I think. Let me just make sure. Well, it's 5.5. So yeah, it was probably 4x6, and then I did not fit to frame. I just let it be how it was. So my image is about 4 by 5.5, but I'm probably going to tear her out of that. Some other things I did grab out of my stash this time. I do still have a lot of items. Here, I'll give you a sneak peek left in my collection. Oh my gosh, so many papers and tags and tickets and pieces of ephemera. But there are some other items I pulled out of my stash. I thought it might be fun to use some old postage stamps. So I grabbed those. I grabbed this old postcard because I love this image. I want to make this page with her very feminine. So I'm going to try to make it feminine because I tried to make his a little masculine. I really liked this paper, and yeah, I would like to try to make hers a little more feminine. So I grabbed this postcard. It doesn't have, there is some writing on the back, but it's beat up, and I don't know. I would just like to use that. Somebody sent me this in friend mail. It's glued onto some book page, but it's like an old clearance form of some kind. I grabbed that just because of what it was. This I've torn out of the front of an old book because I like that image, and I'm not certain that I'll use these things. I just grabbed them. And one more thing that I grabbed, I had some old calling cards from the late 1800s. You know how people would go to visit and they would leave their calling card? This is ripped off of the front of one. It covers the name, so it lifts up, and then you would see the name under the little card. I like that hand with that rose, and I like the roses. So I pulled that out as well. The other thing I pulled out of my stash, I have this digital kit in my shop, and I had used it in a previous collection where I had sent some laser copies in with it. What was that? What collection was that? Renew? Was it the January collection, I think? And it's just some of these old book pages out of an old 1800s book that I have on etiquette, and they mention visiting, and they mention reading the calling cards, that it's impolite to rifle through the basket of people who have stopped by when you're visiting someone. So anyway, I love these book pages, and I haven't used them in a while, and I have some leftover copies here that I've coffee dyed, and I thought maybe it would be fun to use it in the background somehow in this journal as well. So those are the items that I pulled out, and of course I still have all of these papers and pages and things left in my kit basket here, so we're just gonna see what happens. But I do know the first thing I'm going to do is cut her picture out I know I'll probably tear her as well, tear her image, but I want to get a sense of the size of this picture. If you missed any of the other previous videos and you would be interested in checking them out, the links will be in the description box down below. I like the idea of this gentleman here. He's got his little bus ticket. There's some hearts and things. I know that they loved each other. So I don't know, I like playing around with that idea and celebrating them, even though I don't know who they are. I do like the way that this coffee stain paper matches that old music paper. Okay, I had to take a break and come back, but I think the last thing I said was that I wanted to tear this book page and use it as a base here. So I'm just going to start tearing it a little bit. And it still pokes out a little much. I'm going to take a little more off of this side. It's like I don't want to tear it down too much, but I don't want the edges to get ruined later on when I'm using this journal. Just a little bit more here. I love these book pages. Ways and means by which a company may be entertained. Parlor theatricals and parlor concerts are a pleasant means of entertaining an evening gathering. A company of 6, 8, or more thoroughly mastering a play or giving it an audience that may assemble in the parlors. Croquet parties are very fashionable and are a healthful, pleasant means of diversion. The essentials necessary to make a game pleasant are good grounds that can be shaded. Anyway, I love these book pages. Just great. Okay, I think I'm going to take a little bit more off the side just because of how it's rubbing the center of the book. Again, I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue like I always do. I love how quickly this glue dries and how it doesn't wrinkle the paper. I know you guys hear me say it all the time, but sometimes when I don't say it, I have people ask. So I want to make sure to mention it. I'm just going to put that right in the center, and I think that gives it a good base to pull that same color over. This is a very nicely aged piece of music paper, and now they look similar. I think for now, I'm just going to turn this page. I had it folded in this way, but I don't think I'm going to collage a double page spread, so I'm just going to fold that the other way, and maybe later on when I'm working in this journal, I want to do a double page spread here. Maybe not. I thought about just cutting it off and using it somewhere else in the book, but for now, I'm just going to reverse that, and now I'm only working on 2 pages. I think I might tear some of this text because I'm paper piecing things, and I like carrying over some of that text. For now, I'm just going to set it here. Then I have my lady, and I think I want her up here. How did I did tear his edges, so I'm going to tear her edges a little bit. I don't want to tear it too much. There we go. Look at his picture again. But I think I'm just going to glue this piece down. I'm debating when I should start inking the edges. I don't think I'm going to ink the edges on this piece, just because I didn't on that other side. And that's all because I was trying to avoid inking the edges on this music paper book page. There. I definitely want to ink the edges of this picture though, so I'm just using Vintage Photo for this. So I've been using it throughout this whole journal. I feel like I'm doing something very wrong if I cut this postcard up. Oh, like it pains me to think about doing that, but I think I want to. So I have this little piece of tissue paper left over, and it does have some really pretty flowers. This is going to hurt, I know, but I am going to cut this postcard. I know. But I am excited to use this. And of course, I will remember that this was an old postcard. And I've had this sitting in my box for so long, wanting to use it. I'll save this piece because that will be nice too. And I've said it before, I'm not somebody who really likes fussy cutting to sit down and take an hour to cut this piece out. I think it's gorgeous when that happens, but I just don't have the patience for that. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes I will do that. I'm thinking, like, what if I left some of those edges? No, probably not. I'm going to keep cutting it. I think I might cut these roses apart. Then I can use another piece of it in a different spot. And looking through my papers again, it would be nice to carry some music over here. I think I like this. I haven't paid too much attention to the lines of the song, but I like that I will always keep you. Maybe put that down here, and I think I'm going to ink the edges of this piece. And I'm just going to glue things down now. It's very hard for me to collage and make decisions about pieces and layers and how to layer, and I think part of it, if it's intimidating to you like it is to me, is just doing it. Like, don't overthink it and just go for it, and don't be afraid to go over the top of things. That's something else I really struggle with, is going over the top of things and not being able to read things. Some things there's still just no way I would put over. Like, I'm never gonna copy this. I'm never going to cover that up. But, you know, I have a lot of these book pages and a lot of music, so I would like to add some type of scrapbook paper pretty. I do have this purple hydrangea. It might be fun to mix in some decoupage of these really pretty hydrangeas. I really do like that big purple flower. What if I ripped this flower out of here? And I've done this in a previous video and lots of videos. If you don't know how to decoupage with napkins, I will leave that video linked below, and you can check that out. And I'm not quite certain that I want to use this yet, but it would add some pretty color. Again, I think I shouldn't think about it too hard. I'm going to grab my Mod Podge because it's what I have on hand, and I'm just going to adhere this napkin down. I think this time I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit and work from the center of the book. I don't really care if I get it a little farther out than the napkin, because I'm just going to be gluing on this page anyway. I'm sorry, I have a habit of starting a sentence and then working and then finishing it. It's a bad habit. I've realized it after I started filming videos in real time, that I have a habit of not talking for a minute, and then I have to cut that stuff out so it just flows better. the things that filming videos make you realize. It's always very interesting. Okay, I'm kind of getting this in place here. And then I'm going to go over the top of it. And if you guys have never done this, Mod Podging down napkins or tissue paper, you have to try it. It is so much fun. It's so much fun to play with the glue and squish down your image. Even the way that it feels in your journal later, I love it. And I just slowly begin laying my napkin down because I want to get a feel for how much space I still need to add my Mod Podge to. And I think that's good. And then I like to check my edges, like over here, and then go over the top of my napkin. And this top layer also helps get your edges down, but it also helps protect that super thin material. All right, that's still a little tacky, but I can work with it now. But isn't that so pretty? I love being able to see through the decoupage napkin into the back layer. It's just so pretty. So now I can get an idea of what it would be like if I put my lady here, maybe this rose up here. I don't know, I still feel like it needs some things before I put those pieces on. I do have some laces. That could be pretty. And of course, very feminine. And I'm just grabbing this lace out of my scrap bin. This is my little lace scrap bin. I love this, but so does my cat. My cat likes to lay on this. He thinks this bed belongs to him. Okay, this is an old piece that has come off of a pillowcase. And I know it's going to cover up a bit of that, but it's also going to poke out of the edge of my book, which I really like. I think I'm going to use this. And I think I'm going to use this trim over here. So I'm just going to take a minute and cut this. And I'm just going to glue this down because I'm fairly certain that I want this. And I'm paying attention to the edge and how much I want poking out of my book. And then I'm just gluing that in place. And I think I'm just going to run a small bead of this glue down the edge of this book page just to hold that lace in place. I'm also going to glue this lace down in place too. All right, I'm liking that because it helps take away some of those page seams that I had. And then if I want to go back, if I want to tear it out, this page, I still can. If I want to glue it down, or if I want to use it, it's still really pretty. Am I ready for her? I think I am. And I'm going to glue her down in a similar fashion to the way that I glued him down. I'm going to take my bone folder before my glue dries and try to work this in a little bit. Plus I like the way that that takes some of that toner ink. Oop, I ripped it, but it's okay. I like the way that it kind of scuffs it up a little. Okay, just get a feel for this. I pulled out some of this other stuff, but I think I'm just going to hang on to it for now. I think that I want a tag here so that I can make a statement on this page. I think I'm going to use one of these tags out of my stash like I did on the gentleman's page. These are from my friend Rhonda. Rhonda, thank you so much. I am loving them. And I think I'm going to do something very similar here on her page. So I'm just going to ink the edges up a little. I don't know, I do have some of these postage stamps. I know that I put the bus image or the bus ticket over on his page. Ooh, I like this one with the ship on there. I'm just grabbing out a few of these. I don't know, they might add a little interest, but then maybe so would my postcard because of the postage stamps. Maybe I like this. Like they're writing each other or he's writing her. I really don't want to cover up that always keep you. Oh, I don't know if I can fit it on here. Maybe I should cut it out a little bit more. Oh, it's my fabric scissors. I don't want to do that. Okay, maybe that works a little bit. And I'm just going to clean up my messy cutting with the ink. I don't know if you can hear my cat, but she is complaining because she doesn't like being locked out. But you guys know what happens when I let them in here and I just don't have room to deal with them today. I'm going to ink these edges up for the same reason, just to kind of hide my cutting lines a little bit. And I'm still planning on using this little rose here. Ooh, I like that. Coming over the edge of that tag a little bit. Maybe I like that. I don't know. Maybe I need a little bit of this washi on the bottom here. I like having it a little torn. I feel like I need something floral. I do have this pretty Prima washi. I'd like the edge to look a little more torn, but maybe if I don't want to cover up those words. I just went across the bottom there a little bit and across the top. I'm going to glue this tag down and then I'm going to play with adding my top layer. I think I've made it that far. I don't know why I'm so intimidated by collaging. Let me know down below if you are. But I am. I'm just always afraid of it. I think I want this stamp to tuck behind my label. So I'll glue that in place. Again, I really don't want to cover up those words. I'm just going to add a touch of glue there. Okay, well, I definitely know I want this. This piece of calling card is going across her photo. And that lace. And I'm just going to glue this down. I'm not crazy over it, but I think I don't know. I just want it there. Maybe I'll put something over it somehow. I'm going to put this little rose down in this bottom corner. think I'm ready to add the big rose too. Just going to put that over the top. Maybe he travels, right? I don't know. Maybe I like that stamp down there under that washi. I think so. I like the fact that it's pink. Just going to glue that there. And I haven't glued down this stamp yet. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to put on that label. Oh, I don't want to cover up that always keep you. I do have my little dish here, and I think I'm addicted to these rusty paper clips. And I was wondering, of course I've glued it all down pretty solid. I don't know if I can add this paper clip and kind of mask this with kind regards. Maybe, I just don't know. I still have some scalloped circle. I could do something with that. And I'm kind of just maneuvering it in my glue here. I could clip that again if I can get it underneath the label. I like that. Of course I like that. That's what I've been doing pretty much the whole journal. I wish I had something to cover that up though. And then I'm planning on putting Tim Holtz sticker, word sticker across there. I forgot to ink my little scallop circle here. Let's get out the Tim Holtz words again. This is Chit Chat. I'm liking the black. Let me get out the other book. I have this book, Small Talk Occasions, but it has some sweet sentiments in it. All great things have small beginnings. Everything begins and ends with you. I think I like that one. I think that's what I'm going to use. Everything begins and ends with you. It's kind of a romantic page. I think I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to glue this scallop circle down. I didn't realize that I hadn't added any glue to that. It's helpful. Okay, everything begins, if I can get it down, and ends with you. And then, maybe I want a butterfly, maybe I want a flower. I think I'm going to use the flower. I'm always addicted to these little flowers anyway. Okay, I think that is it. I think I'm calling that a spread. Maybe when I come back in here, maybe I'll add some pins with some beads or something, because I think that would be really pretty. Or some type of chain dangling down here would be, well actually the chain would be really cool on his page. I don't know, but I'll probably add something to that lace because that's a big piece of lace. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it a little bit inspiring, even through my struggles. If you're interested in checking out any of the other videos where I've worked in this journal, I will leave a link to that playlist down below, along with the link to my Etsy shop if you're interested in this collection. I will also leave a playlist to all of my Journal With Me videos in case you're new to my channel and you would like to go through that playlist and see what's happening there. That link will be listed down below too. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.